How to start any agency in just 10 days. So in this video, we're going to learn about how can you start your own agency in 10 days. I'm going to answer some of the most asked question on my Instagram, that how can we hire people, how can we outsource our work, how can we, decide the invoice, how can we design the invoice, how can we decide about what niche are we going to go in. We're going to basically discuss about everything. So yeah, let's get started. And before you ask me that why am I talking about agency, what do I know about agency, I run my own agency called as Autocom. So yeah, I'm sharing everything from my own personal experience. So let's get into it. Firstly, what is an agency? An agency is basically a company that provides services to a client. This is a very basic explanation of what an agency actually is. Agencies, the whole textual knowledge, the whole Google knowledge, you can just find in a Google search. But if you're starting an agency, the only thing you need to keep in mind is agency is a company that provides services to a client and charges money. That's it. All right. So, what are the requirements for you to start an agency? You basically just need a laptop, a mobile phone, internet, and discipline. The discipline part, the fourth one, is the most difficult because your agency is not going to work out in the first 1 week. Your agency is not going to work in the first 1 month. Your agency is not going to work in the first 6 months. It's going to take a lot of time of your determination, and I'm just gonna recommend one thing to you guys, that don't switch your niches just because you think it's not working out for you, because it just takes time. Okay, so just choose one niche and specialize in it fully. Do your market research, be confident, and specialize in it fully. Don't change your niche just because you think that this niche is not going to provide good value for me, or this niche is not going to make me good money. All right, we're going to talk about niches further in this video. So let's get started. Day one. In day one, you basically just have to decide your agency niche, decide the name of your agency, make a logo, and make an Instagram account. Now, Instagram account is optional. Why? We'll talk about it. So, decide your agency niche. This is the most important thing. What is your agency going to be about? Is it going to be for chiropractors? Is it going to be for influencers? Is it going to be for doctors? Is it going to be for realtors? Who are you going to target? What is your target audience? So, to decide this, I basically have a simple technique for you to decide this. It's just basically the 60-40 rule. Now, the 60-40 rule just means that whatever your niche is, it should consist 60% of what will give you the highest ROI and 40% of what is your interest. Now, why I'm doing the 60-40 rule is because basically anyone would tell you just do whatever gives you the highest returns, right? But why I'm not telling that is because not everyone is interested in some certain stuffs, right? Now, whatever niche you choose, you have to go completely in it, right? You have to just, for the next 5 10 years, you're going to work on that niche. So think about that way, think long term. So you don't want to work in some niche where you don't specialize in, where you don't have an interest. For example, chiropractors, they have a very high ROI in the terms of agencies, but a chiropractor, not everybody likes chiropractors. I bet 90% of you don't even know what a chiropractor means. So yeah, you can't work, you can't, give your best in something which you don't specialize in, which you don't like. So that is the reason why I'm telling you not to only go for the thing which has the highest ROI. So what you can do is, for example, how I started my agency. When I was starting my AI agency, the best return on investment I was getting in my AI agency was from high ticket coaches, because they needed the services which I was providing the most. But my interest was in content creators, social media creators. I loved working for social media creators because I could personally connect with them. I was a social media influencer myself, so I could personally connect with them. So what I did is, I took high ticket coaches as like the 60% part, which is gonna give me high, like a very good return on investment. And then I took content creators at the 40% part. I combined them both, and I started targeting high ticket coaches who wanted to move to content creation, because a lot of high ticket coaches, they want to move to content creation because they have to, expand their brand, right? They have to start their own personal brand also. So yeah, that is how I came up with my agency niche. You can come up with your agency niche as well in the same way. You just have to do a little bit of work. It's not that difficult. But once you're confident with your agency niche, let's move to the second part. Now, since you've decided what your agency is gonna be, okay, is it gonna be a social media marketing agency? Is it gonna be an agency for engineers, doctors, some private company? Is it gonna be an agency which specializes in Google Ads? Is it gonna be an agency, which specializes in AI? Once you've decided that, move to the next one. Decide a name for your agency. Now, this is important, okay? Your name defines your worth, okay? A good name can get a lot of attentions. Your name should consist of what your agency is giving. For example, Autocom. Autocom is a combination of auto and com. Auto and com basically means auto stands for automation, com stands for commerce. So automation and commerce. So this was started keeping in mind about our, the e-commerce brands that we were also working for. So yeah, Autocom sounded kind of good. So we went for Autocom. Same way, decide a name for your own agency. And yeah, thirdly, make a logo. Now, if you want to make a logo, I'll just give you a simple advice. Simple advice. To make a logo, what you do is, so you basically just have to go to this website called ideogram.ai. This is basically the free version of Midjourney. It's gonna generate crazy, stuff for you. As you can see, this is one logo generated by them. So just go and give a description about your agency. 2D dynamic logo for me. Search this. As you can see, this is the kind of logo it created. Here you can see the other results as well. It's kind of good. Oh, I didn't added the name over here, but doesn't really matter. So you just have to wait for a few seconds. It basically generates within 10 seconds mostly, but if there's some server issue, it's gonna take up to 30 seconds. And mentioned a name in it. It took realtors as a name and it generated logos like this. For example, if I go over here, it generated this logo, which looks quite good. If you add more detail in it, it can generate a more precise and a more better logo for you guys. So yeah, the more details you add, the more better your logo is gonna be. What all elements do you want in the logo, etc. Right? So once you've decided your agency niche, decided a name for your agency, made a logo, now make an Instagram account. The reason why I tell that this is optional is because I don't think it's necessary. If you have a personal brand, if you have a lot of followers with you, if you have a personal brand or a private account which you want to turn public, go with it. Doesn't matter. But it's always better and more professional to create an Instagram account, right? So basically what you can do is just create an Instagram account with the name of your agency. Just keep it for the sake of it. So that whatever content, whatever testimonials, whatever announcements you have to post about your agency, you can just post it on the Instagram account. Right? So yeah, if you want to create an Instagram account, just go for it. Now, shall I create a website? If you can, good. Create a website. But more people are going to discover you and it's going to be very convenient for them to just scroll through your Instagram. Right? So if you don't have the initial money to invest, just go with an Instagram account or go with your personal account. But if you have money to invest and you want to look more professional, you can buy a domain and stuff, just make a website. Better. But I'll always recommend you to have like an Instagram account with you. Okay? Perfect. Now, since your day one tasks are done, in day two, I want you guys from day two to day four, decide your services and do some market research. The reason I kept it 2 days is because this looks easy, but is difficult. Because you need to decide the kind of services you're going to provide. And this is not basically just a 1 day or a 2 day task, right? This is going to take a lot of time. Basically, whenever you need to be updated with the market, right? So once you started, like we started with just chatbots, then we moved to automations, then we moved to AI influencers, then we moved to graphic designing, then we moved to content planning and content scheduling. So this was not all done in just 1 day. This took a lot of time for us to make it. We still keep on updating our services time to time and informing our clients, right, according to our clients needs as well. So if you can, I won't say that decide all your services in one. Just decide 1 or 2 services. That's it for start. To begin with, just go with 1 or 2 services. Once you've decided, for example, chatbot and automation, if you're starting an AI agency, go for chatbot and automation first because that's the basic, right? Now, once you've decided that, do some market research. Market research is going to teach you that is it actually required, whatever you're learning, is it actually required by a lot of people? Keep that in mind always because there are so many things which looks catchy. There are so many agencies, there are so many servers, types, business models that look catchy, but are just not as important as they were before, right? So do some market research and decide your services. Maximum decide just two services, not less than two, not more than two, just two services. Once you've decided two services, okay, so day 2 and day 4 tasks are done. Let's go from day 5 to day 8. From day 5 to day 8, spend only on figuring out how can you provide those services. For example, if you decided chatbot and automation, figure out how can you provide chatbots and automations. For chatbots, use VoiceFlow and ManyChat. For automations, use Zapier and Make.com. These two are the top websites and very convenient for you to use. Master these websites. Now again, this is not gonna, you're not gonna master these websites in just 2 days, but you're gonna learn significantly enough about these websites to start an agency and start earning, right? So yeah, learn about these agencies, find websites and softwares you'll use. Okay, for example, I just said ManyChat, VoiceFlow, Zapier. Decide everything that you're going to provide. Okay, 2 days are more than enough. Work for, I don't know, 10 hours a day if you have 10 hours to spend, right? If you're spending 10 hours on playing video games, throw the video game away and start working because you want to make money, right? You're not just watching this video just for the sake of it. You want to make money. I assume that. So go for that, right? Master them properly, because if you don't master them properly and you think, okay, this looks easy, because when I went to Zapier looked hell easy. Zapier was Zapier. I just went on Zapier. I could just type whatever automation I wanted, provided me with the automation. So I was like, bro, Zapier is easy. But then when I started to actually make a functional automation, it was a headache, bro. It was a headache. This error, this problem, that problem. So yeah, I would always say that make a test, whatever service you are providing, just test it out first yourself so that you know how it feels exactly to, provide that. So yeah, from day 5 to day 8, spend only on figuring out how can you provide your services, find websites and softwares you'll use, and fucking master them. Keep this in mind, master them. Okay, you need to learn everything you can in these 2 days time span. So on day 9, figure out the pricing, the payment. Okay, so figuring out the pricing and the payment is like, a very good thing. Now, how can you figure out the pricing? Let's talk about payment later. How can you figure out the pricing of your services? A lot of people get confused in this. How much should I price this service? Is it too much? Is it too less? Firstly, if you want to price your services accurately, right, you need to understand who are your audience, what are your audience, how much your audience can pay, what are your targeted audience. I'm not talking about your audience in the market, I'm talking about the audience that you want to target, right? So when we started our agency, what we planned was to target small creators, but the problem is it's very difficult to convince a small creator to lend you 1000 rupees per month than it is to convince a big creator to lend you 10,000 rupees a month. This is a very, very, very important lesson. Very important. So, there are two ways in which people make money. There are two, subscription models. I say not subscription models basically, but there are two ways by which people make money. One is the infamous, Andrew Tate style. Okay, I'm saying Andrew Tate because a lot of people will be familiar with it. So what he does is he just charges $50 per month from his people and provides them with the services. Now 200k people are in his university, right? So 200k people are in his university, and just multiply 200k into 50. That's how much he makes in dollars a month, right? That is one way. This is another popular way for Netflix. And these types of ways, they take a lot of investment, because if you're pitching someone who doesn't has a lot of money, if you're pitching them, you need to convince them with your whole heart. You need to provide them with all those services. Let's take Netflix. Netflix generate multi-million dollar multi-million dollar series. And if a company was starting, okay, if Netflix was starting and they went to the pitcher or they went to an angel for investment and they said that, you know what, I'm going to invest multi-million dollars into creating a few series, and then I'm going to offer it for people for only 149 rupees a month or 199 rupees a month. Anyone would say you're insane, but that's what Netflix does. So to offer your services for small price to a larger audience requires a larger investment. So why are you even going with that way? I know it sounds easy, I know it sounds convenient that yeah, cool bro, I'm gonna offer my services for 200 rupees a month and I'm gonna get all these customers. But that's not the way. You're just lowering your worth. And even to sell that service to someone for 200 rupees, you will have to convince him a lot. You'll have to give a lot of services for him to be able to pay you 2000 rupees, 200 rupees. So instead of that, what I'll say is aim for higher clients. If you want to make quick money, Alex Hormozy said this, if you want to make quick money, aim for the richer clients to pay you. Now, this is going to be way easier. You need to firstly brand yourself that way that you look luxury, okay, that you look appealing to the rich people. Secondly, what you need to do is you need to design your services. It takes the exact same efforts to solve the problems of 10k per month, 100k per month, and 1 million a month. It takes the exact same efforts. You just need to identify the problem. And once you've identified the problem of the rich people, once you've identified the problem which is gonna, which the rich peoples are going through, and if you decided the cure to it, just charge them 10k a month, boom. I mean, it's not that easy, but nothing good comes easy, right? So yeah, I'd recommend you guys to price your services. Firstly, design your services for the top people, and then price your services the top prices which you can price, right? Yeah. And then the payment processes. Now, for the payment processes, what I would do is, if you're targeting Indian clients, right? A lot of people who are watching this video are from India. अगर आप Indian clients target कर रहे हो, then you go for Razorpay. Razorpay UPI के through आप आराम से ऐसे पैसे ले सकते हो उसमें, right? But if you're targeting foreign clients, go for Stripe or PayPal. PayPal is the better option because a lot of people use PayPal, but Stripe is used by a lot of businesses, right? I honestly find the UI of Stripe very convenient, very good looking, very attractive. So yeah, I use Stripe, but I'd recommend you guys to start with PayPal, or if it's not happening with PayPal, go for Stripe. Okay. So a detailed introduction or a detailed beginner guide for setting up a payment for Stripe and PayPal will be linked in the description. I recommend you guys to go and watch that, because अगर मैं बताने बैठ गया कि आप कैसे कर सकते हो कैसे नहीं, तो वीडियो बहुत लंबी हो जाएगी और आपको इतना टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना, राइट? सो आप आराम से फुर्सत में इस वीडियो के बाद देख लेना, एंड वी आर गोना डिस्कस अबाउट मोर डिटेल्स फर्दर. आई गेस वी डिस्कस्ड अबाउट इट जस्ट नाउ. एनीवेज, once you've decided the pricing and the payment method, day 10, spend it on making testimonials if you've worked with previous clients. Now, a lot of people haven't worked with previous clients. What do you do then? Then you have to create testimonials. Now, how do you create testimonials? When we started Autocom, what we did was, हमने Autocom start कर दिया, हमें chatbot बनाना आता है, we know how to make automations, we know how to do graphic designing and shit. But how do we showcase our work? How do I sign my first client? Because whoever client we were reaching out to, everyone was like, testimonials. Testimonials तो नहीं है, हाँ तो निकलो इधर से. That was exactly what was happening. So what we did was, we created 3 fake accounts. And out of the 3 fake accounts, we added some followers to it and shit. Okay, one was a clothing brand. One was, I guess, a toy store. And one of them was another e-commerce store. So we just designed our own e-commerce platforms and stores and everything. Exactly, that's what we did. Website का थोड़ा issue हो गया, but वो हमें करना पड़ा कुछ करके, but that's what we did. And those were our testimonials. And at the same way, if you don't want to do that, you just do it for yourself. If you learned how to make chatbots, just make a chatbot for your own Instagram account and you can showcase that. If you want to edit videos, just take some raw footages online, edit it, show it to people. Your testimonial is ready. So day 10, spend it on making testimonials, creating testimonials, because this is going to be a very, very, very important part for you guys. So after day 10, your agency is ready. Now, what I wanted you to do on day 11 is check out other agencies in the same niche and write a sample contract about your business. A link for the sample contract must be given in my description. But the video isn't over yet. We're going to discuss about a lot of more things of this agency, right? So yeah. check out other agencies in the same niche. Okay, discover agencies, just see what those agencies are doing, and then try to replicate that. Another thing for day 11, this is a kind of task for you guys. What you can do is, if you a lot of people ask me how do I scrape data, ठीक है भाई, मैंने cold call करना सीख लिया, मैंने cold email भेजना सीख लिया, data कहाँ से लाऊं? How do I scrape data? What you have to do simply, let me show you. This must be given on my description, but what you can do is you can just type it on your own, right? I'm gonna show you. First you have to open Google, paste it. So in the niche section, just add your niche. For example, my niche, let's say, who are we targeting? Let's go for influencers. Okay, location, I want to target, let's say, Delhi people, right? There are a lot of influencers in Delhi. Just click on it. So after you click that, this is basically gonna generate every Instagram account of people who are content creators over here, right? So it generated these many for now because I guess it didn't recognize the influencer term. You can replace influencers by realtors. It is gonna generate you all the realtors Instagram account, and on top of that you will also get their email address. Okay, if you don't want this, I guess they're having this is a good thing. Okay, so yeah, after this just click on Control A. This is gonna copy all the content in the site, and then Control C. After that, open Chat GPT, scrape this data and organize it in a table. Then just paste this thing which you copied and then click enter. So what ChatGPT is gonna do is it's gonna generate you the list of all these email addresses which is provided in the influencers bio. Okay, so yeah, you got the list of all these influencers in this table, so you can use this table and cold email them. It's that simple. Now once you do that, I've also mentioned send cold emails if you're not comfortable with cold calls. Now I started cold calls recently, and honestly speaking, the reason why I don't cold call much frequent is because people hate when they get cold calls. Even when I get cold calls, I hate it. So I don't wanna hate people, but that's only the way by which you can get clients. So yeah. Day 12. Keep sending cold emails. Okay, now this cold email task is not just for one day. You need to keep sending cold emails every single day. Okay, send at least 50 to 100 cold emails a day. That is the bare minimum. Now as soon as you book some clients, sign them and start with your services. Now I'll explain a lot of this in the next videos, in where I'm going to teach you how can you scale your agency, right? So yeah, now let's come to the FAQ sections, right? Do I need to register my agency? No. Simple answer, no. A lot of people ask me this. Where did you register your agency? How did you register your agency? I didn't. Nobody does. I've worked with so many agencies as a freelancer, and none of those agencies, I'll be honest, some of those agencies were making good money, but none of them had actually registered their agency. So if you don't have the money initially, right, I recommend you don't register your agency. Don't register your agency. After that, once you start getting money in, once you think that okay, now my agency is like exponentially big and now I need to register it, otherwise there might be legal problems, go for it then. Second, how to hire people for my agency. This is a very good technique which I used. Partner with your friends, your cousins, your family members whom you don't have to pay much, right? Partner with them, and like if you don't want to work with them, what you do is just offer them an equity. For example, your cousin, okay, he's gonna listen to everything you say. Go to him and say like, yo, I'm gonna start a business, I need your help. And trust me, young people know a lot about tech more than old people, right? So go to him, tell him I'm gonna offer you a part of my company. So basically whatever you do, how many clients we sign, I'm gonna offer a certain percentage of whatever revenue we make. And most likely they're gonna say yes, just because they know you, right? That's when you do first. Because if you go to hire Sorry for that. If you go to hire people who are professionals, right, you just have to pay a lot of money to them. And you don't want to risk that because you don't spend money before you make money. Remember that. You don't spend money before you make money. As simple as that. So yeah, to hire people, go for the people who you trust. Go for the people who you know personally. Go for your friends, go for your brothers, go for your cousins, go for anyone whom you can, make work for less money. करना पड़ता है शुरू में. Do I need a website? If you can, good. If you cannot, don't. Simple as that, bro. You don't even need to make a free website using Wix. Nah. Your Instagram account, a Notion template is more than enough. More than enough. I'm going to show you my Notion template as well. This is going to teach you all about workspaces. Can I start an agency with mobile? No. A guy had asked me this question on Instagram. No, bro. I honestly think if it's a video editing service, okay, it's a video editing agency, and you can outsource some work and you can do some work from your own phone, go for it. You can do it by your phone, but it's just double task. आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? आपको बस आपके सर्विसेज आउटसोर्स करने पड़ेंगे. आप खुद कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे क्योंकि बहुत सारी चीज़ें होती है जो करने के लिए आपको एक प्रॉपर डेस्कटॉप चाहिए होता है, राइट? सो यूल हैव टू आइदर मेक अ टीममेट और यूल हैव टू आउटसोर्स द वर्क. जब आपको एजेंसी मतलब आपके क्लाइंट से पैसा मिलेगा, वो पैसे का थोड़ा सा हिस्सा लेके आप किसी और से काम करवा के वो उसको डिलीवर कर सकते हो. बेसिकली ड्रॉप सर्विस है. Can I start an agency alone? You can, but not recommended. Because there is gonna be so much tasks for you to do. Agency seems easy, but there is gonna be, once you start getting clients, there are gonna be so many tasks. You're gonna go through so much burnouts, okay, and you won't be able to do all the tasks properly. So until and unless you cannot trust someone for outsourcing your work, don't start an agency alone. You can start an agency alone, but in future it's gonna be a very big thing for you. And then you're just gonna ruin your name. कि ये scam कर रहे हैं लोगों को. It happens. You need to guide your reputation with your life. So yeah, can I start an agency alone? Not recommended. But if you think you can outsource people and stuff, then yeah, you can give it a try. But make sure to have like a physical partner besides you जिसके साथ तुम बैठ के decisions ले पाओ. सब काम अकेले नहीं हो पाता. नहीं हो पाता. बड़े लोगों से भी नहीं हो पाता सब काम अकेले. ठीक है? And how much time will it take for you to grow? It's going to take a lot of time. And when I talk about growth, I'm talking about millions of dollars. I'm not talking about $1,000. I'm not talking about $10,000, $50,000, I'm talking about millions of dollars. That is what growth actually is. So, if you want to make, I'm talking in the long term, if you want to make shitload of money, just don't give up. Because trust me, and how do you believe in your niche? How do you believe that, okay, this niche is going to make me millions of dollars? Just research that if there is any millionaire from the same niche, if there is any millionaire, then definitely that niche is going to work for you. You just need to decide the services properly because that is the road, that car, that agency is a car. So that car can take you to $1 million, but you just need to figure out the right amount of fuel you need to add to it, right? So don't give up. It's going to take a lot of months. It's going to take a lot of years of just work and no results. But trust me, everything is going to be worth it 5 years from now. So yeah, just don't give up. That's all I need from you. You've started your agency in 10 days. But trust me, this process never ends. You've just started your agency. बना दिया है आपने, create कर दिया. उसको sustain करना आपका काम है. और वो कुछ 1-2 महीने में नहीं होने वाला, वो हमेशा का काम है. जब तक आपकी एजेंसी चलेगी आपको उसे सस्टेन करना पड़ेगा. एंड यू नीड टू डेवलप द डिसिप्लिन टू डू दैट. Only then you'll be... See, a lot of people have started their agencies, but how many of them you know? Just a few. Why? Because it's that difficult. It's not easy. जो भी लोग तुम्हें कहते हैं कि start making money from agency is easy, just want to sell a course. Look it up. Who was the last person who told you making an agency is easy? He wants to sell a course. शायद मैं नहीं बोला हो पहले, but I'm not selling any course right now. मैं आगे बेचूंगा. I'm being honest with you guys. So yeah, that's how it is. So just don't give up, bro. We got this. And that is the end of the presentation. And I post a story on my Instagram that asking me a lot of questions, and there are a lot of questions that I want to answer about. and I'm gonna post frequently in this channel, maybe once a week. I don't know. Let's see. So yeah, if you found this video informational, just share it with your friend who also wants to start an agency and act. Start acting. I didn't just yap for 35 minutes just to for you to go and sleep on your bed. Just start an agency. करो कुछ तो करो भाई जिंदगी में. Okay, चलो bye, love you.